What's up, y'all? Dave Bloom here. I wanted to talk about spacing and using a spacing constant in a website build and how that is like super useful to being able to adjust things globally. So this is a component, a few components actually that I'm just working on building, some Lorem Ipsum stuff for like a landscape design website. And this element is being padded in a number of ways with a particular constant called section that I like to use. So the padding top is the section variable. The padding bottom is the section variable divided by 2. And this utility class syntax allows me to easily use like CSS custom properties and do math on them without having to do a bunch of var parenthesis calc stuff. It just kind of does it. But the real benefit to this is like when we actually save and exit, I purposely like kind of bunked or messed up the spacing here so that I could show this off. So I'm going to pop up in Mobius. Mobius is a CSS editor, kind of lives down here. It's kind of like a customizer in your pocket, but it's like a way to write global CSS to stuff and have a nice like responsive preview. So I'm going to pop this open and start to look at my site at different sizes so I can like preview it on actual devices, which I believe is kind of a better way to look at it than just rectangles. You can kind of get the vibe for how this is going to feel. And so let me go back here and I can like quick jump in this editor, look for instances of section, and there it is. So here is like my spacing area of my CSS style sheet. And now I can adjust this value up and down to tighten or loosen the design. I think in this case, so I can just like select the value and increment it up and down. You can see that it kind of breathes open and closed. So if I like want to add a little bit more spacing to stuff, like maybe increase the space between things or increase the space like between cards, I can do so. I think in this case, I kind of like this level where there's like kind of a centimeter, I guess, between sections, or give or take. Maybe tightening it up would be all right, but I kind of like this level, so I think I'm gonna stick with it. And then I can just move up the chain and like tighten or loosen things as I see fit. This feels a little bit tight, so I might go back to 4 there. Start to approach like an inch of spacing as opposed to a centimeter. That's looking pretty solid. This is actually a light green color. Might need to be a little bit darker. Landscape. I think that feels a little bit tight. This feels tight, so obviously we need to bump that up. And maybe even a little bit more room to go to 5 rems of spacing just to kind of really let things breathe. I like that. I like more space around here, so I'm gonna stick that at 5, and then I can just keep going up to laptops. Obviously, that needs to be bigger, and I think ideally, all of these values will be kind of preset for you. You can adjust them, but I think I like a 6 rem space on that. I think that feels pretty solid. And if I wanted to go up to like an XDR level, I could run another media query and space it out more, but I work with a 1280 pixel wide, or roughly, content window, so the spacing doesn't really need to go any higher above there. If I wanted to like adjust the font size, it works the same way. I could adjust the root font size to make everything bigger or smaller. Like if I needed to really pump this up for larger screens, then I probably should be looking at this here. So that feels pretty good. And I could also bump the scale up. So if I need to tighten the scale, my type sizes are done with the scale. So if I wanted to like bring this down, it would like kind of allow me to tighten or loosen my font scale, so that would increase or decrease. Sorry, tighten would be decreasing and loosen would be increasing the space between the largest and smallest type sizes. So if I need to like go down here and I find that my headings are too big, then my font size scale, maybe tablet's a better example. These seem pretty well positioned, but if this was like, smaller, or larger, then I could get some different looks from it. But I kind of like that 1.09. And it all depends on the typeface. It all depends on the fonts you choose. So you kind of, it's nice to have these, I would say, fulcrums for adjusting that stuff. So you can let your design kind of get more spacious or, more, I don't know, bigger headliney, if that makes any sense. Or you can tuck it in to be smaller and more concise, kind of globally, instead of having to imagine making all these calculations inside of page builder settings or with a design system. You can just see it, and you can just like move in the direction of like the right design choices just by using your eye, which I find is like the best way to do it. So just thought I'd share that. And Mobius should be out by the end of the month. Aviator, the system that built all this stuff, is a little bit more of an educational thing at this point. It's not really a commercial off-the-shelf product, but if you're interested in it, let me know. Hit me up. Happy to give you a demo.